Today's video is about a movie called The Vast of the Night. Watch out with spoilers ahead. The film starts with an intro to a Twilight Zone-esque show called Paradox Theater to set the story up as an episode of the show. It begins in 1950 in Cayuga, New Mexico. As the local high school is gearing up for an evening basketball game, radio DJ Everett Sloan is called to handle an issue under the bleachers, but is told that they were asking for Emmett. Everett goes with switchboard operator Faye Crocker as they practice with a recorder to see how Faye can project her voice before going around the school's parking lot to do little interviews with game patrons. Afterwards, they walk to their respective posts and record their talk about science experiments and other related anecdotes before parting ways. Faye goes to manage the switchboard and starts to take callers while playing some music. Just as Everett starts to play his show, Faye hears a distorted and staticky noise over the radio. She then takes another caller who claims to see some kind of large figure over her land near the canyon, like a tornado, and the same frequency can be heard from her end. Faye calls a couple of other people she knows to see if they also hear the sound, but she keeps getting disconnected from them. She decides to call Everett in the middle of the show to ask for his help. He plays the sound over his show to see if anybody might recognize it. After a smoke break, Faye and Everett get a caller named Billy. He recounts a story about his time in the military where he was taken by his superior officer to an unknown location in the desert with other soldiers. They saw something massive in a hole they worked on, but they knew little about what they were supposed to be doing. Billy mentions hearing the noise over the radio as they were heading home, and he eventually got very sick, which he believes was a result from being in that part in the desert. He learned that some of the other soldiers also got sick. Billy gets cut off the air, but can't get back on since he will not disclose his location to Everett. Off the air, Billy admits that he thinks nobody else would listen to his story because he is black. He thinks that the military picked mainly black and Mexican men to work since nobody would listen to them. Billy also discloses that he and the other men were recently sent signal tapes from someone at Walker Base, and Billy heard the same noise on his tape. He destroyed his tape, but one tape in Cayuga was given to a man Billy knew that is now dead. Faye knows that the man's wife donated tapes to the library, and they can use a tape recorder from there to hear the tape. Faye and Everett head to the library with a car Everett stole. They gather the tapes and call Billy back, but the line cuts out. Everett plays the tapes back until he gets to one that plays a similar mystery noise. He plays the sound over his show, but the lights suddenly go out. Faye starts to freak out and then rushes back toward the switchboard until Everett drives her the rest of the way back. She finds a whole bunch of callers coming in. Faye tells Everett that people are claiming to see something in the sky. They get a call from a lady named Mabel Blanche who says she has a big story regarding what people are seeing. Faye and Everett drive to Mabel's house. She recounts her past, including a son she had named Hollis, who apparently spoke a strange phrase she previously heard when he was 10 months old. Hollis disappeared when he was 4, and she thinks he was abducted. Mabel theorizes that whatever is in the sky will get people at the game based on her personal experiences. When Faye and Everett have to go, Mabel asks that they take her to the ship so she can see her son again, but they do not. Faye remembers to check on her baby sister Maddie and their cousin Ethel, and she sprints home. Maddie is safe, but Ethel is nowhere to be found. Everett picks the sisters up and they return to the station. She hears from Ethel, who went off with her boyfriend, and they saw something in the sky. Faye and Everett are picked up by a couple they met earlier, Bertsy and Gerald, to head out of town to see what the thing in the sky is. On the way, they play a recording of Mabel speaking a foreign language. Gerald appears to fall asleep at the wheel and almost crashes. The kids flee the car and run into the woods. Everett inspects the ground and trees to find that they are burnt. As they walk further, they hear a faint humming and then see a UFO coming closer. Although they try to move away from it out of fear, Everett gets curious and walks closer to it, despite Faye's protests. The craft reveals itself to be just as gigantic as described. Faye and Everett look up at it and hold each other close as a gust of wind envelopes them. The game appears to end and everyone starts to go home. The radio station is still empty, but the lights go back on. The last shot then cuts back to the field where Faye, Everett, and Maddie were, and the only thing left behind is a tape recorder in a pile of dust. Don't forget to like and subscribe to watch more videos like this. What movie would you like us to recap next?